Hi guys, I'm back with another video, and this time it's all about the Ravens and Goth. Before I jump straight in, I just want to say the kits what I've used in this journal. There's quite a lot of different kits that I've used. Some are from the Graphics Fairy, some are from Junk Journal Club, which is on Etsy, and Home Book and Treasure, which is on Etsy. And I've used a couple more, but I've just mixed and mashed them how I felt I wanted to use them. I do forget sometimes to mention the journal kits what I've used, so that's that out of the way. So just like the ship one that I did in one of my previous videos, I've done a similar like a scroll, and I've used poly clay to create that. Then I've obviously painted it in black acrylic and then gone over it with some different types of golds, as you can see. And then I've used some embossing powder and stamped, and it's kind of like a gloss, as you can see, a gloss embossed powder. And then I made this peacock feather into like an old-fashioned what's the word, a quail, is it? No, not a quail, I don't know, like an old-fashioned fountain pen. I had an old fountain pen that no longer worked, so I dismantled it, wrapped the peacock feather in this black silk, glued it, and then glued the fountain nib at the end. And then I've tied it with some sari silk, and then I've just put a real wax melt there. And then this image is quite an old image, what was off Pinterest, and quite a lot of people in the junk journaling world probably have noticed him. But to me, I think it's someone from like the Victorian times trying to be Odin, because from the Viking times, Odin was supposed to be blind, and he had two crows that were his eyes. And they would fly off and travel around the world, and then by evening they would go back and tell Odin what was happening. So I think someone from the Victorian era has tried to replicate that. So we'll jump straight in a minute. It's quite a junky journal. I haven't added a closure yet. I just wanted to get the video done, and then I'll add the closure later on. We've got quite a few charms. Got a raven charm, a raven skull. Then we've got beads, what I've made, and a black raven down below. There's a couple more in, but we'll get to that as we go through. I'm just using this just to protect this cover. I don't want to be bashing it around, so it's just to protect. So if anyone does buy this, they have to, you know, really protect the cover from getting damaged. So first pocket, I've used this gorgeous stamp that I have. It's embossed, and it's like a glossy embossing, and it's got some ravens on it, so just added that for effect. Just a really old cathedral, with it being Gothic looking, I added that. Then we've got a journaling card, a scary witch, and then just a black feather, and it's not off a raven or any animal, it's just one that I've bought, kind of thing. And then we've got these papers throughout the journal. It's got the raven on it. We've got another raven, and all backed onto tea dye papers, and it's like a shape of a coffin. And we've got some lovely velvet, which I think I bought off D. Lovely D. I've used quite a few of her materials what I've bought off in this journal. Just another image, and then I've added some real ephemera into this journal. This is dated from the I think it's from the 1800s. There is another piece of paper in this journal which has been ripped off of this, and it is dated from the 1880s, I think. Done quite a lot of painting and things like that, and stamping and things. Tuck pocket here with experiment cards and bats, and then above here there's a large pocket, as you can see. I haven't put nothing in because, as you can tell, this journal is quite chunky and thick. This is some ephemera what I've printed off. This lovely lace here which has got roses on it, if you can see. And then just some journaling cards. This was off Graphic Fairy. Again, some more of that velvet, and then this just pulls out to be journaled on. Some vintage German papers. Got the black raven charm there, and a key charm above, and this lovely black lace. This is one of my favourite stamps. There's two that I have with the raven on it, and this is obviously been embossed, and it's like got a tinge of dark purple. And you cannot have a raven journal without having Edgar Allen Poe in it, so obviously there's a bit of that going on in this journal. We've got an envelope, and it's been glued on to an A4 piece of tea dye paper, and then just folded up. Some more lovely trim. And then this is one of my favourites. I've got this creepy guy. This is off Graphic Fairy, and I think it's Cabinet of Curiosities. So I pinched this image off there, and then we've got like a card for to me it reminds me of like a mental institute card, so I added that on. And then if you unclip that, we've got just some specimen tickets, and we've got like a creepy house. Open it up, and I added like a bit of like, you know, like mental institute kind of images just to give it that effect. These are from real diaries of real witches from the 1600s, which I've printed off the internet. I have used these quite a bit in my witchy journals. And then just some more journaling cards. And I think I have used a couple of things off my porch prints as well. I have tried to remember quite a few of the kits that I've used, and that's that. This is the other raven stamp that I have, and of course we've got the Edgar Allan Poe, and then we've got a raven's head, and then just some scraps of vintage materials, and then this trim lace. And then if we turn the page, we've got like a pocket here, and I've just added like a miniature journaling book, which is just filled with lots of random junk of papers, should we say. It just goes in there. And then we've got this again, another raven stamp that I have, which I've embossed, and it says, "Only believe half of what you see and nothing that you hear." and then if you turn it round, it's been backed on to some tea dye paper, and then we've got another raven, and these have been like scratched on, and then we've just got some cards in there, like note cards. And this music card I've used in quite a few of my journals. That is from like a brass band. When people are playing the trumpet and things like that, they put like a sheet of like cardboard with the music on, and that's how they play. So these are them kind of cards, if that makes sense. An original piece of ephemera from the 1910. Just added that in. A journaling card backed onto tea dye paper. A journaling pocket, which I have just trying to zoom in a little bit, which I've collaged with different vintage materials. Another journaling card. I think I've zoomed in a bit too far there. And then it's got some velvet at the top, and then just some sequin trim on the side. Then we've got some images of witches, and then just some handprints just to give that effect. Another journaling pocket. And then this just flips up and you can journal on there. And if you've noticed, I think it's these ones. I don't think it's this one. No, I'll point it out when I get to it. Another journaling spot there as well. And then again, this is another large pocket at the top. Obviously I've sewn around this bit but left this empty so you can tuck things in there. This lovely long trim, and we have this pretty bead what I've made. And then that's the end of the first signature. This is the second. I've got this gorgeous trim again. This is what I bought that off eBay, I think. And then some journaling cards, species cards, specimen cards. And then if you can see here, we've got these dangle beads at the bottom. If you can hear the noise, it's my kids. I've told them to go upstairs. I give them some toffee. And I said to them, can you please just be quiet for half an hour while I do my video? This image of this raven, I bought my first Edgar Allen Poe book, I think it was last year, and it was a Collins book, and it was like a very basic book what I had. And then further down the line, one of my good friends gifted me, oh no, sorry, getting confused. I bought this real big leather Edgar Allen Poe book. So then I decided to rip the old one up, and this was the cover of that book. This is the thing that I was talking about, the Burial of the Dead. I pulled them out of an old vintage music book. Got a heart. And then this this paper actually feels like leather. I painted on both sides with black acrylic, and then went over it with some white gesso, and then did some different types of blending, and then I added this raven on a skull. And the paper does feel like leather. It's quite crazy how it's turned out. Got some vellum, and it says Nevermore. This is the image what's on the front of the journal. And then I've got a large piece of paper there. And then this is just some random bits of trim and lace and things like that. And then I've just added a wax seal on it with a dangle, and then we've got the raven skull. Got a side tuck here, and then we've just got some pictures of to me that look like raven claws and different bird claws. Another original piece of ephemera, journaling cards. Can you go upstairs please? And that didn't last 5 minutes. Told them to go upstairs and they're hanging on the stairs watching me. Can you go upstairs please? And then I've got this, what goes over both sides of the journal, which is vellum, and then on the other side I've gone over it with like a tissue paper, then inked it and printed it. And if I can just get a journaling card, these are ideal to put in like things inside them, like pictures and things like that. I didn't put anything in them, I just left it blank. So that's the purpose of that. You can do that on both sides because they've both got pockets on either side. And then we've got this large envelope that can be opened up and journaled in, or you could glue it and use it as a real envelope. Another journaling card. Just did some more stamping and used this. Another one of those coffin with a bit of velvet on. Another large pull-out piece of paper. I love this. This is such a gorgeous image, very gothic. Some more vellum, and we've got some green velvet. I do apologise if you can hear my children screaming. Again, this is the other side of the paper that I was talking about that felt like leather. And then this gorgeous trim. This trim I bought off the Lovely D. It's gorgeous. And then on the other side, just some more journaling cards. And then we've got the lovely Countess. Obviously I did a journal about her previously, and she did do a lot of photography in morning clothes, so I thought I'd add that in with it being gothic. Yes, Annabelle?
Scott's being naughty.
Is she? Okay. I'm just doing a video, okay? I do apologise. We've got 3 pockets here. We've got a large one at the back. We've got a journaling card there. Some experiment cards. And then we've just got some witches. Again, more ravens and things like that. Just done some ruffle with sorry silk. And again, more journaling cards and just some sequined trim. This is the last signature. As you can see, we've got the hearts. This paper is actual paper what you get from when you buy anything from Amazon, and they wrap it up in that kind of paper. So I kind of use that. Not wasting anything. Got another pocket with another raven, and inside that got just a couple of random journaling cards. And this is a piece of paper from the first signature, and I still was from the 1800s, and it's got 1880 dated on there. And then I just made it into little booklets. because the piece of paper that it looked like a really big, is it an A3 or something like that, so I've kind of trimmed it down and used it in different ways. We've got a raven charm there, if you can see that, and then did some it's like powder, and then you squirt it with water, and then you can just do crazy things with it. We have the genuine, these are like cards from when people have passed away, and just added that. It's got a large letter, which was original, but obviously I've printed that off from one of my kits what I've had for years. And then another one of these with all these different types of papers. And then another postcard, and you can just undo it, and it's A4. I'll not undo it because I'm sure you get the gist. I've got some more vellum, which I printed some witches on, and then I've wrapped it round with some of this gorgeous lace. Again, this is off D, what I purchased, and then just added some creepy images. And this is like a secret journaling pocket, and if we open it, there's a secret space to journal in. And then just this is off the graphics fair. I printed it off on normal paper and then just inked it, the raven. And then again I used some more different types of lace offcuts and created that. Another original ephemera, wine and spirit merchants. Another envelope, and again I've left it for the receiver to do how they wish. Some more journaling cards, and then this is from the stamp, but I only use the top half so that I could have the raven on that. And then did some different types of collaging, glued them all together, went over it with white gesso, inked it, then stamped it, and then here there's a little pocket, and again this is just random bits of paper, and that just tucks nicely in there. And then we've got the Nevermore in the middle for the raven and Edgar. And then this is the back side of the vellum, and again just some random cards in there. Okay. Another journaling card which has been backed onto the tea-dye paper. And then this page we've got a little mini version of all the different scraps, and then a stamp. Once upon a midnight jury while I pondered weak and weary, which is the beginning of the Raven poem from the Edgar Allen Poe poem. And we've just got like a black charm there, creepy images, and then I've just added some postcards what are vintage, and because they're like a bit gothic-y, it kind of went again. And then we've just got like a piece of paper that I've printed off, then inked, to be journaled on. There you go. Oops. I've got a raven, and then I just added this raven image here. I have used this image a few times. I've made quite a couple of journals now, and I've used that as like a main image. I do love that image. Again, some more stamping and stuff. And then I'll have to stand this journal up for the last bit because I've got like a dangle. This lovely dangle here. Oh, one's broke. That's not good. Again, I purchased this off D. Quite funky, and with it being black, I just thought I'd add it for interest. I'm not so sure if you're supposed to cut these things off here and then they can go wherever they want, but I just thought I'd keep it like so. And then just some I used up some scraps and just made a ruffle trim with paper. And then that is the end of the journal. So this is now up for sale. Finally done the video. So I hope you enjoyed that. And thank you for watching, and goodbye.